Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my budget with me for the month of January. So let's go ahead and get started. So as you can see, when I was preparing the layout, I accidentally started filling things in. So we're basically just going to jump right into it. I'll talk about this more probably in my December monthly wrap up, but the true budgeting method, which I talked about last month, as opposed to forecasting, has worked a lot better for me. So just to refresh you, the difference is true budgeting means you take the money that you already received in the previous month or the previous paycheck or whatever, and use that money that's already physically there to budget for the following month, as opposed to forecasting, which is what most people think of when they refer to budgeting. Forecasting is when you look at the money you expect to come in and plan for the bills that you expect to go out with that expected money. So since my income is partially production based in my career, as well as Etsy and side things, it makes a lot more sense for me to do true budgeting and look at the money that is physically there and budget with that. So it worked pretty well for me in this past month of December. I think probably the best that any budgeting has really worked for me. So I'm going to stick with that and look at my income. So this is income that I made in the month of December, and it is what I will use to budget for the month of January. So this is money that is already physically there. I actually got these reversed, but it doesn't matter. The first check that I get is the one that includes production. So this is basically my salary plus production, and it was a ton more than I expected, and it has given me so much hope that I may actually be able to pay off these gigantic student loans. So I'm very excited about that. So because I have gotten a substantial chunk there, and my bills are significant, like my monthly expenses are significant, but they're not so much that I think I need to touch this amount. So I think what I'm going to do from here on out probably is try to budget entirely from my salary only paycheck for the month. So that was actually my check 2. It's what I received today. So I'm going to try to budget entirely from this amount and just let this amount go to loans. So when we get to the beginning of January, I'm going to send this to my loans and it's going to be gone. So I'm going to be stuck using this, and really that will help me stick to my budget a ton. There is other money that comes in throughout the month through side hustles and things like that. But I'm really going to try to leave it alone and not touch it. And then send any remainder to my loans at the end of the month. So that's going to be my plan for that. That's why I didn't even put a debt section down here, because I know this is my plan for loans. So if any of that changes, I probably will put it off to the side here. So as you can see, I accidentally got started. So I put those numbers there. I made the template for everything else and accidentally started. But so my bills, I have, as always, my rent, Wi-Fi, and water. They're all lumped in together for $16.99. My electric, which is the only thing that is planned as opposed to a known like absolute value. So I just looked at the forecaster and I'm expecting it to be a little bit less than 140, but I'm just going to plan as though it will be 140, and then I'll mark down the actual when I pay it. DirecTV is always the same. It's $53. My YMCA membership is always the same. It's $63.50. And then my, excuse me, then my other memberships, which includes Audible, Netflix, Ipsy Bag, a stash little savings fund that I do, which is only like $5 a month, and iTunes. So those things all add up to $41.93. So that brings my total for my bills portion to, I'm just going to put it under planned because it includes this electric amount, $19.97. So we will see what the actual ends up being, but I think it'll probably be quite close to that. So I realized when I got down here, I messed up. Dog sitter really should go under bills, because the things that I keep under bills are things that come directly out of my checking. So I just forgot to put it there. So I went ahead and put it under cash envelopes, even though I never ever pay her with cash. But, oh, I meant to put here start and then end. So for groceries, I did 200 last month and that worked really well for me. I know part of the reason that worked really well is because at the beginning of the month, I was still eating on Thanksgiving leftovers. And now at the end of the month of December, I'm going to be eating on Christmas leftovers. But I'm going to try to challenge myself. I have a ton of dry goods like dried beans and rice. And I have a lot of stuff in the freezer. So I'm really going to try to challenge myself just to stick with this 200 and then eat out of my pantry and freezer really well for the rest of the time. And I still have some things that I stocked up on from my last Costco visit. So I don't think I'll have to go back there. And if I do, it'll be a very, very small shop, like just for produce probably. And I probably won't do that. Like I won't go out of my way. Near my house, there's a BJ's, like a wholesale store, like 30 minutes away. I probably won't go out of my way to do that, but if I'm home visiting my parents, they have one in their town. So, if I stop by there and grab a few produce things, that's what I'll do. Let's see, slush fund. I gave myself 150. I've been doing some more things socially, like with people from work, and I want to keep that up. And I don't want to feel like I can't do it because of budget. I live in a new area as of moving for this job, so it's been really nice to feel like I have friends, not just like friends at work, but friends outside of work, even though they are work friends. So I'd like to keep that up. Eating out, I'm going to keep it at 100. I haven't really crunched the numbers from last month yet, but I think I did okay with it. And then unbudgeted, I'm going to give myself 100, even though I don't think I did any unbudgeted last month, which is cool. And then dog sitter, I'm guessing at, wow, fail. I'm guessing at 115. So that brings the total for the cash envelopes portion to 665. Okay, so that's starting, and then ending, I'll put what I have left over there. And then my sinking funds. So I always have my pet Christmas and gift sinking funds. This month I'm adding in a wedding one. My friend is getting married in May, and so I really need to start putting money aside for that. I was really tempted to do exactly what you're not supposed to do and just say, oh, I think it's going to be around $200, so let me just put 150 there right now and get it over with. There's 5 months until it comes up, so there should be no problem with me just doing it bit by bit. And then that way that enables me to have more money going to my student loans up front and cutting down on my principal. So for these, I'm going to give pet, I'm going to give 50, which is more than I've given in previous months. And I anticipate that I'm going to be needing a bit more in a couple months. So I'm just going to do it. Christmas, I'm only giving myself 15 because Christmas just happened and I don't need that much. The only reason I was giving myself quite a bit these past few months is because I just started the sinking fund like 3 months before Christmas. Wedding, I'm giving myself 50. So by the time it gets here, if I do 50 a month, I should have 250 there, which should be more than enough for whatever shoes she picks out. A dress, we're not being required to buy an expensive dress, so I'm going to try to dye a bridesmaid dress that I have from a different wedding. And if I do that, then I won't have to buy a dress at all, which will be amazing. Hair, things like that. And then gifts, I'm going to give myself 20. So, and then just to mention, the reason that these are funny numbers at the ends here is just because I have these in savings accounts that accrue interest. So they have accrued in 3 months. One's accrued 8 cents, one's accrued 9 cents, and Christmas has accrued 15 before I took out the main amount. So that's pretty cool. So yes, my total that I am adding here is 135. And then I guess the only other thing that I really wanted to note on here somewhere, I guess I talked last time about how I'm kind of obsessed with having a buffer. Sorry, it just got super cloudy suddenly. So I think I'm just gonna mark my buffer down here. And I did get some money this month in gifts. So the buffer amount I have left over is $159.16. And then I also was given a gift from my work of $200. So since it's cash, I probably will use it instead of having to go to the ATM. I'll probably use it for a cash envelope and just consider the money in my banking account that I would have taken out as the gift. And then I'll leave it there as a buffer, and then maybe hopefully at the end of the month I can apply it to my student loans. So yeah, that's what we'll do. And then I'm just gonna put over here loans. And then I'll just mark any dates and payments that I make over there. Okay, so that's gonna be the main part there. Again, I was too busy, didn't have the foresight, I guess, to put the chart over here for my cash envelopes. I have not been doing a good job tracking cash envelopes. As I've said last month, I'm going to try to do a better job, and hopefully it actually happens now that we're in the new year. That is one of the intentions that I'm really setting for myself, so hopefully it happens. But anyway, let's go to the month situation here. Oh, and I had, before we do that, I have this Erin Condren sticker book, which I really love, but I have not used any of the month labels because I don't have a place for them in my regular like day-to-day planner, but I think this will be okay. All right, so let's go to here, and where did I put my sheet of stickers? Oh, right. Okay, so I went ahead and wrote down most of these. So rent and Wi-Fi, due on New Year's Day. That also includes water. I usually pay this well ahead of time, so I'll probably be paying it fairly soon. Which is one thing that I really like about doing the true budgeting method. It lets me pay my bills early without messing myself up because I'm using money that is physically already there to budget, which is just, I'm very happy with it. If you can't tell, very happy with it.